Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. I want to zoom in on the crazy-making, the cognitive dissonance, and how it impacts the long-range goals of the narcissist relationship. Now, the narcissist with their crazy-making, cognitive dissonance, they give a great degree of double messages, double standards really to their relationship. And mostly in terms of the double messages, there's a push-pull component. There's a come here, I want you, and then I can't really be with you right now, sort of push and pull. Cognitive dissonance, meaning they simultaneously are holding positive and negative treatments to people at the same time, which is not very good for obvious reasons. For one, it's confusing. For two, you don't know which side you're on. You don't know if you're on the push side, you don't know if you're on the pull side. So what ends up happening, it makes the target, it makes the victim work even harder to stay on the good side of that parent, of that narcissist in that relationship. And oftentimes the harder work just results in more entrapment, more enmeshment, and really kind of loss of self and boundaries in the process. And in terms of long-range goals, this really starts to create an undergirding of shame within the relationship. So what happens is it ends up becoming very limited in terms of its growth potential. It's difficult for people to get together with other couples, other friends who would relatively be open to getting together. However, you don't feel open to get together because things are never worked out for you. You can't go to kind of family-oriented places because of a lot of crazy making and the chaos and kind of that high risk. So it tends to be a very isolating relationship. So if you see these red flags in what is going on with you, keep that as a telltale sign that you could be involved with a narcissist. They are, extremely unpredictable. So in terms of, going off with other people or doing things that you're not comfortable with, this is just part of the game that they play. And of course it keeps all the focus on them, and they're really not going to get where you're coming from. The more the double messages are, they tend to feel like they need you, but then they resent you. The narcissist always resents their supply. Very interesting thing. It seems very, again, counterintuitive. But the narcissist tends to resent their supply. They also feel, and I've heard this shared with me from psychopath as well as narcissists likewise, that, and mostly, especially the psychopath, that they really, the people that they fool, the people that they manipulate, they really kind of look down to, and they kind of feel they're stupid and they had it coming to them. And that's really how they interpret it. So they really feel like, well, they kind of deserved it. Their life is ruined, ha ha ha. And they think it's kind of funny. It's to hear it from an outsider and to hear someone speak like that, of trying to ruin a woman's life who has 4 kids and deceive and dupe her is really spellbinding to me, that someone would take the time to try to destroy somebody like that. Again, it seems very counterproductive, but that is the hallmark that we see in the narcissist, as well as more in depth in the psychopath. You also get a lot of the, come hither, and then they ignore you. So again, this is that push-pull, it's the crazy-making. It results in a lot of chaos. It also involves in having you work harder to maintain the relationship, and then generally the relationship will plateau until either one of you makes the move. And with this quite a degree of unpredictability in the relationship, it makes it very difficult to create long-range goals with them. So if you are basically, in the market or want a long-term relationship, it makes it difficult to pursue this with the narcissist or, of course, the psychopath, because they just don't have the predictability, they don't have the certainty, they don't have the stability to provide for you. And oftentimes people feel, they want to seclude the relationship or isolate it. They're embarrassed to be in front of friends. A very common experience with those who are involved with narcissists, both on a romantic relationship as well as a familial level. And really it's because, we see a shrinking of somebody's self-esteem and then their presence in these relationships because they're never really considered. Their preferences aren't committed for travel, for dinner, for activities, for dates, just for being overall listened to. Their position is not considered, so oftentimes the person just becomes more and more minimized in the relationship, but also becomes more and more minimized in their identity. That's how deep and that's how enmeshed really the target becomes in this type of narcissistic relationship. And especially in the family dynamic where the parent is the narcissist and the child is trying to be reared by one, they oftentimes feel that the child oftentimes feels that they don't have a sense of input or validity, which carries on into life. So if you also feel that with your romantic partner, that your input doesn't really matter or that it's minimized, that's definitely a clue and something you should look at in review of your relationship, the dynamics, and where it could be moving forward for you. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussions, and support.